I was sitting quiet inside of myself today, and as the weather turned, and I know it's the same for you, that we get cued up by changes in weather, or a smell, or a sound, or a person we've met from the past, and it brings back a memory of a time that was important in your life. And this time of year reminds me of a time where a few years ago I came intimately close with experiencing the death of another. And I have a beautiful friend and a former lover I was with at the time, and it was her mom who was getting sick. She went on vacation out west and had stomach pains. She's a nurse. She came back, didn't know what it was, and got diagnosed with cancer, and slipped very quickly. When they found it, it was in a bad state, and there weren't drugs here that were allowed by our government, and so thankfully we live close to the border of the States, and they had an option of paying for experimental treatments there, but that has necessitated her getting down there and just being part of the family, as I had been for so many years. Sometimes that was a trip that we made together. And as things weren't working all that well, I remember an idea I had at the time was to bring a video camera and ask if she wanted to make anything that, should this not work out, that we could share with her family. And I felt that was in kind of a unique position to do so, because they wouldn't know that they existed. And very sadly, I didn't. I sat in the car, I drove, other times I was with her, and I couldn't bring myself to ask her the question. I felt it was too presumptuous. I felt it was never a right time, as silly as that sounds back in retrospect. And she slipped very quickly from us here and passed this time of year 4 years ago. And interestingly enough, just 6-7 months later, I was confronted with my mother's illness turning terminal. Again, it happened so quickly. It was a trip to the hospital that she never left. She was there for about 2 weeks. And I remember after about the first week, visiting with her, sitting by her bedside, and having, before I left, brought a camera and brought tapes, because I wasn't going to make that mistake again. And I remember sitting with her, it was in the dead of night, it was like 2 in the morning, and asking her, when we were alone, if she wanted to make any messages for anybody, should she not get out. And she was kind of taken aback and declined and said, if I have anything to say to anybody, I'll just tell them myself. I don't know how much denial played a part of it. My mother was an alcoholic and frequently underestimated her sickness, at least from this perspective. And about a day later, she slipped into a coma, not to come out of. And days after that, we gathered as a family and and watched her pass. And I know this sounds really depressing so far. And it can be, depending on how you look at it. You know, we don't know how much time we have. I don't know how much time I have. Seemingly I'm in good health and I could live a long time, but I have ailments like everyone. Luck could strike. And I might not be here tomorrow or a month from now or years from now, who knows? It doesn't really matter, really. And so I wanted to sit here with a clean bill of health, knowingly, and share with you, share with myself, to record this moment in time and let the universe know that I am so grateful for this life. And that I am so happy getting to experience myself. I'm so lucky. I've been so lucky. I have so much to be grateful for. And so much that I am grateful for. And I want to declare that I've seen the beauty of life. I've seen the beauty in life. Not just in things that are always categorized as beautiful either. You know, a life worth living is a life worth recording, at least on some level, if not for others, if for yourself. And I'd encourage you, at a moment that's very private for you, if that's what's necessary, to own your message. In whatever control you have over it. Own your message in this moment now. For you, for yourself. And it might just serve to help others. Which really, what else are we here for? I love myself, and I love my life, and it's perfect. And I hope you do too.